Hello, my name is Alex, and I am a Scientologist. I'm not just any Scientologist. I actually, in the world, probably have done more courses and services than just about anybody. I'm not actually taking score, but I have done a lot of courses and what's called auditing, counseling, and I've studied and done the actions of Scientology for more than 35 years, so I know a little bit about the subject. So, in this video, it's going to be quite interesting because I'm going to tell you exactly, precisely, why Scientology might be considered controversial. And it is considered controversial. So if you look it up in Wikipedia, you'll see the word controversial. There's a lot of emotions sometimes. Where does all this come from? There's even a website which is like anti-discrimination against Scientology. It's called standleague.org. Why does that need to be made? Where's all of this coming from? There's an exact, precise reason. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly why this occurs, because I'm going to break it down for you piece by piece. And I will tell you right now, it's not what you think. It's a little bit from a different angle. So just watch this to the end and share. So let's talk a little bit about the fact that there is controversy. So, some people are quite, let's say, passionate, and they think one way or the other about Scientology, and then it's kind of an odd thing in a way, because I don't know if you've ever met a Scientologist or talked to a Scientologist or seen some Scientologists who are quite successful. You're going to notice that they're actually quite friendly. They're very, very confident, competent as well, and they seem to care a lot about people, and they're quite ethical. So no Scientologists will be doing street drugs. That's like 100%. That's for sure. You'll never see that. So where's all this controversy coming from? Well, here's where it's coming from. So part of Scientology involves taking yourself and improving yourself. And part of that is taking a personal look into kind of who you are and helping you improve who you are. In order to do that, you have to look at the life you live and who you are and the kind of things that you do. And that's the problem. As a matter of fact, that is the only problem. If someone comes along and asks you to take a greater insight into who you are and what you do, and that person that you're talking to has some type of skeletons in their closet, that is to say, they're doing something that they do not want found out, then what's going to happen is the person that is trying to keep his secrets, so to speak, will speak out against anything that he would consider a threat to his own survival. So for example, if someone comes along who is a Scientologist, right, and he offers counseling services, which in Scientology they're called auditing, and he offers some auditing to this person, but this person is currently having an affair or secretly using dating apps while in a relationship, or it could be more serious. It could be they are stealing money from their employer, filing false tax returns, or whatever it is they're doing. They're going to have a real problem with being found out, and they're going to attack this person who is offering to help them. So that's basically how it works. Scientology and Scientologists are extremely capable of improving someone's life. In order to do that, you do have to take a direct view, sort of like confronting, not all at once, but step by step, your life. And it's quite funny because there's no real thing, even though you might hear of it, there's no real thing of like so much as punishment. The only punishment really that you have when you do the things I mentioned, let's say affairs or money or crimes is you're kind of affecting your own happiness, and you punish yourself. And Scientology gives you a way to kind of confront these things, communicate about them, and overcome them and live a better life. There's a very common phrase among Scientologists that you'll hear, which is called, "The way out is the way through." And it's very true. And it's generally, you don't have to confront everything right away. You can go on a what we call a gradient. You take it step by step. You confront a little bit more. You improve a little bit more. You improve a little bit more. And then you can confront your life in a much better way. And then interesting things happen. Your IQ might go up. Your ability to communicate might go up. Your confront for life in general might go up. Your position of work might be better. You might have a better income because you're starting to confront life for the first time. But to answer why there is controversy, let me give you another example. So let's say someone hears about Scientology, and the person is actually involved in drug trafficking, or he has some sort of connection to human trafficking, or maybe he's doing something with identity theft. Could be anything. He will have a serious problem with being found out, because if he is found out, he would go to jail. And that is actually the real reason where the controversy really comes from. And the loudest people generally, actually, are in the minority. It's just a small amount of people that are actually critics of Scientology. It's quite small. Just because the voices are loud doesn't mean there are very many of them. In fact, most people would be suspicious, and they should be suspicious. I would be suspicious if I heard of some new technology, or if it's a religion, and it is a religion, which is another video, and people were speaking out against it so strongly and so passionately. Well, something must be wrong with it, right? But once you actually take a look at what it is, you're in for a big surprise, because it is not what some people claim it is. It's only what it is for what you look at it and the books that you read on it, and you see it directly, not from somebody else, not even myself. So let me give you one more example. Let's say, for example, not even Scientology, let's say someone made up some sort of technology to better yourself. And to better yourself, you had to take a deep look into your own life, okay? I'm just going to make a name up for it. Let's say, I don't know, enlightenment, self-enlightenment. Okay, someone came up with something like that. And you really had to take a personal look into what you do in life and how you operate. Well, if that person has done some serious, someone comes along and he has serious political crimes, where he's taking illegal donations on a regular basis, let's say, he will speak out and he will do everything he possibly can to get rid of enlightenment, whatever I just called it. He will try to get rid of it because it's a threat to his life. You see how that works? And that is actually, interestingly enough, is really the only reason why Scientology might be considered controversial. It's actually not really controversial, because Scientologists, we fight back against human trafficking. We actually shut down a website a few years ago where you could do human trafficking. It no longer exists. We fought, and when we fight these things, people fight back. Because why? Because they want to continue doing these illegal things and making money in a negative way. So that's where that comes from. And but I don't want to leave this video on a kind of a negative note. Let's talk about something positive. I want you to understand that, if you actually look past all of these controversies and take a look for yourself, you're in for quite a pleasant surprise. The best way to kind of research it for yourself is actually to get a book from the founder. And there are plenty of books available. Which book to start with is going to be another video. There's going to be another video I'm going to make where we're actually looking at random. I'm just going to open a book at random, see what he's talking about. And you'll see quite how helpful and interesting this whole subject is. But let me just leave you with this. Scientology comes at life at a little bit of a different angle, where we take able people and we make them more able. So by able, I would be, if you fall into any of these occupations, for example, firefighter, Coast Guard, if you're in the military, surgeon, if you're at the top 1% of your profession, whether it's a realtor or a lawyer, or if you're a professional athlete, you compete in the Olympics, deep sea diver, things that take a lot of confront and a lot of ability to do, concert musician, stunt performer, Broadway performer, any of these types of occupations, Scientology will especially resonate with you. Once you start reading some of the books, it will be eye-opening. You're going to be amazed at how life, the subject of life, is actually being explained for the first time. And you're going to get an increased ability to confront life, deal with people, communicate, and understand. And it even embraces the subject of business and finance. It embraces all life. So if it has to do with life and livingness, Scientology is exactly, precisely involved. It's quite scientific, which is also some future videos we'll cover. But I hope that sheds some light for you on why Scientology is viewed the way it does. Is because, you know, when it comes to like drug trafficking and things like that, we fight back. And in fighting back, the people who tend to fight back to us are trying to hide something in some way, shape, or form. And Scientologists actually understand this. We pretty much know, almost all Scientologists kind of know this. So we don't worry about it too much. We don't put a lot of attention on it, believe it or not. We hardly think about it, honestly, about attacks to us, even though there is a website, standleak.org. I'm going to tell you, I've never been on it. I've never been on that site, except today. I was just researching. So hope that sheds some light on how or why this occurs, and that you can just look past it. And it's not important, because there is something very beautiful about this technology. I'm also going to cover how it has helped in my life personally. And I'm going to give you kind of a good insider look into Scientology, what it really is consisting of. I think it's a lot of question marks. There might be some suspicions. You'll be able to wipe those suspicions away with this channel. So please share this video. I would prefer if you just share it. And there you go. And hope you learned something. And I think things will be getting very interesting. Very interesting soon. Alright, thanks for watching this video. Leave a like, you can comment, and appreciate your time.